Hey, Kate and Philip, how do you both manage to create so much content? Philip uploads a lot of videos with good thumbnails, etc. How do you approach content creation? Do you overthink on thumbnails, things like that? Kate's the content guy. I don't know, Kate, do you want to take this first? Do you want me to answer it? Because what do you
Yeah, I
think?
can. I mean, yeah, with mine, I just observe lots of viral thumbnails, and the Mr. Beast one's pretty solid. Big face, big reaction face on one side of the screen or in the middle, and then a very like you want to keep it simple. You don't want clutter in the thumbnail. You want it to be a clear, like, this is the face that I recognize. So Kate's face, in my opinion, in my situation, and then whatever the topic of the title is, I want to complement that title with a visual. So I don't need to I don't need to reiterate what the title says. I don't need to say it again. And like if the title is, XRP goes to the moon, I don't want to, I guess I can for very, very simple things like that. Maybe you can just get away with like XRP on the screen and a rocket ship. But generally you don't want to copy the title. You want to make it complementary to the title in the sense that they could almost be separate without the other and be okay. And so whatever you can do to make it simple, though, a lot of times I stick to with like one color scheme, one big subject, and then me. I try and keep it simple. And especially if you have a show like this, like the Web3 show, we're going to cover 12 topics. It's hard because you have to choose between, like, do I list out all the topics so people know what to expect? Do I pick the best story? I don't want people to miss the other stories because they only saw XRP in the title. And you kind of have to make that decision there. And that sort of changes based on everything. Like, you kind of have to just sit there and weigh it out and be like, okay, what's the biggest story here? What will at least get them into the door? And then will they stay? Is the chances of me saying XRP goes to the moon in the title, or should I say XRP, Cool Cats, Starbucks, 7-Eleven? Like, which one will get more attention? And that's something you kind of have to just play with, and you figure that out as you do trial and error, and you just look at your content and say which content hits better, which titles hit better, why did it hit? So that's generally my approach with content creation, specifically with thumbnails.
Yeah, Krishna, I don't know. I feel underqualified to. I'll give you. I'll do it personally. I'm not saying it's the right way because I feel underqualified. I really do. I'll say that for me, because of the market that we're in at the moment, which if you had seen me 2 years ago when I started this, I was doing a show 5 nights a week live.
Insane.
5 nights a week. Yeah, insane. Absolutely insane. Prepared. One was a new show, one was upcoming projects. So
Wow.
projects that hadn't yet minted that looked like there was potential. Another one was projects that had just dropped, a post-drop analysis show. We went mad. Morland would do a gaming show once a week, and then I would just do a show where I spoke about whatever was going on that week, and then we'd do a
How
Freestyle
did you
Friday
do that?
where
How did you have time? You were
we
working.
made time. I was working and I was project manager, not project manager. Uh, what do they call it in Discord when you're
PM,
running the
community
whole
manager.
thing? Community manager for 3 projects at the heart of it at the same time
Were you
as
still
doing all
doing
of
your
this.
job or nah?
Not as well as I should have been. But at that point, I was
Hey,
making more of 8 pictures and stuff like that than I could ever make at my job. Like I $100,000 on a picture of an ape in a month. I was like, okay, well, let me give this a bit more time than my normal job. So my normal job did suffer, but there was legitimate time for about 4 or 5 months where we were both more than I were
yeah,
sleeping maybe 3 hours a night maximum every night, 7 days
crazy.
a week, and then we would meet and discuss the next week's things. It was too much,
That's a crazy
but
time
in
to be
this
alive, bro.
market,
That's a
yeah,
crazy time to be alive.
it was like make hay while the sun shines. We knew that there was a
It was
limited
just,
time.
bro,
You
the
know,
energy was so like,
yeah,
like that's
you
how it
gotta
felt
go,
the
go,
whole
go.
time, like for
Yeah,
months straight.
for sure.
Oh, dude,
Now
wow,
it's a different story.
gets me
Now it's a
going,
different
dude.
story because I think if you try to do, I never want it to be like we're reaching for topics, and I think with the amount of news that's coming out and projects that are coming out that are worth talking about, like
Yeah.
the whole of this month, we've maybe had Ether is the only
Mhm.
project worth
I'm
worth
surprised you
talking
did
about.
not bring that
What
up, by the way.
we not today, but we spoke about it last week and we
Yep.
spoke about it the week before. So for me now, it's very different to how I would do it if we were in a bull market. So for me now, what I do is I do the show with Cade, And then I break it up. We edit it on my side to make it into separate videos, because a lot of people, and I get feedback on both sides, negative and positive. A lot of people said just do the long form, and I do that. Other people have said that there's no way I'm watching 3 hours, but I would be interested in just the Yuga stuff. So please can it be a standalone Yuga video? So I'll then chop up the video and then do it. My wife does all the thumbnails for me, so I don't overthink them. Whatever I get, I get. That's how I get them. She helps me. She's happy to help me, and that's what happens there. In the absolute bull market, I had it wasn't Bianca doing the thumbnail. I had someone else doing it. I had someone else contacting new projects to see if they wanted to be on the show, and I had someone else helping us with whitelist opportunities that we could get. Now it just doesn't make sense. So that's how I do it. I take the one long form, and then I break it up into little videos that I put out there and see if anyone's interested in them. And yeah, that's my approach.
That's the move, bro. That's like the journey of the content creator. Eventually you hire someone out. Eventually you get someone who can do it better than you. That's like once you've done it yourself for a long, long time. I mean, I edited every single video for 2 years, or 10 years technically, but 2 years in NFTs before I even considered getting an editor. I never thought I would find one. And then GT pulled up and said, yo, I never edited before in my life, but here's what I got. And I said, oh, wow. If that's what you've got in your first try, then I will invest in you, my friend.
You see, I'd like to do more like edited stuff, like in the beginning when we spoke about the XRP stuff, and get that edited, any of my ums and whatever out of there. I wouldn't mind doing more of that and getting a proper editor. But for me at the moment, it's really simple. I'm just cutting up a video. I don't need any. It literally takes me maybe half an hour to cut it up. The thing that takes time is the keywords, loading it on YouTube, the thumbnail, the description, making sure I've got, because I like to put the sources of my content in it. So the end screens, the beginning screens, that stuff is the stuff that takes more of the time.
I was gonna say one thing you could do that would really capitalize, which may not be in this market, but like because you already cut up, like say the segment's 10 minutes, right? Instead of an hour and a half, like the show, or 2 hours. If you got an editor and said, okay, this XRP segment is the best one of the lot. This is the one I need to make a good edit with. So take this 10 minutes and turn it into one and make it sick. That's what I would do if I was you, because like you can choose, which one's the biggest story. Maybe there's 2 1 week, maybe there's 0. But if there's one that you're like, I need people to see this, but I don't even think they'll watch 10 minutes. I need them to get the quick and skinny kind of thing, that might be something like, that's for sure what I would do. That's what I try to do. Just in this market, it may not be worth it, but.
No, I hear it. I hear it for sure.